There's a lot of hours in this. And so then we sat down, and then I just said, I want to play Slim. And then he said, whoa there. Whoa there, buddy. I got a friend called Melina. She wants to see you. Okay. And she's not too sure.
Thanks for the protection.
No, she didn't say that then. She didn't say that then. I heard that.
Well, to be honest, we already had a great collaborative relationship already from Master of None.
Yes.
And I remember you saying, I have this script, you have to direct it. And I also told her, whoa.
Whoa there.
Whoa there. And not because I didn't have faith in your talent as a writer, but just because I wanted my passion for your poetry and the words to really be what drove me to that project, right? My passion for the script, not our relationship.
Right.
But then I read it and I couldn't put it down. I read it in an hour, It didn't feel like work for once. Like, we get all these scripts all the time, right? And it was just a great story. Mm-hmm. And it was political and it said something provocative, but it was this beautiful Black love story, And I felt like I could breathe life into this. And then it was you on top of it. So it's like, oh, this is my sister. Like, and it's both of our first time. And I knew how effective our relationship was already as creators together and what happens when we came together.
What took you so long to respond to me?
I didn't realize that much time had passed.
I sent you a very well-crafted message 3 weeks ago. I spell-checked it and everything, got crickets. And today, out of the blue, you hit me up asking if you want to grab dinner. What changed?
So, agree to meet with Daniel. I'm waiting. You're late. She's nervously waiting by the phone, apparently. I did not know that.
Yes.
And here this fool comes walking up, and I'm like, oh, he's really cute. And you were just so real. I'm like, oh, he's a real dude. Like, he's a brother. Like, he's a nigga. Yeah, I didn't know that. Honestly, like, I didn't know.
Did. You said that to me. You were like, oh, he a nigga? I was like,
yes. Because I'm like, you ain't Get Out. You got this white girlfriend. Like, I don't know. You're real proper.
On the movie screen, not in real life. Yeah.
Yes. No, in the screen.
Yeah,
And I got to know you. Like, I got to know your experiences. You talked about your experience with being harassed by the police and the courage that you had, to fight back. Mm-hmm. And I was like, he's a fighter. Like, he has that same thing that Slim has in his heart. And then I started watching everything and hearing that I knew about your writing and, like, how deep of a thinker you were, which is also Slim. Like, he's simple, but, like, he believes in greatness in the world and family, and we talked about that. And even your thoughts on the script, they were all really impressive. And I remember, I don't know, it was probably 10 minutes later, I was like, okay, so you're Slim, right?
I just want to let you know that I'm okay and that I love you.
I want a guy to show me myself. I want him to love me so deeply. I'm not afraid to show him how ugly I can be. Thank you for bringing us this far.
And then as things started moving, we knew, we were like, okay, well, now we need a missing piece, which is Queen.
Our Queen. And it was really important that we use this opportunity to break a new Black actress.
You were in the first batch.
You were just so confident, so regal. You had this strength about you that Queen had. And also, you could play between this protective facade that she has and then this vulnerability in which she grows into.
How did you feel in that?
It was something I wanted so bad. And I heard about, the project, it was hot. It was a hot project. I found out about it in the press. Mm-hmm. And when I saw it in the press, I wrote my team and I was like, what's this? Mm. So I was just like, I was so amped up about this thing. I was a big fan of Daniel. I mean, I saw Get Out 4 times in the cinema. But I was so nervous when I walked into that chemistry read. And I think, it's something that's very Queen-like in that it's like, no matter what you're feeling on the inside, you just like...
Yeah, because I couldn't tell.
It's like, nope, I am here, I own the space.
Yes,
Everything is fine while it's like screaming on this.
Yeah.
I didn't even really have an understanding of even like how it went. I should have like maybe had a little bit of an inkling because you guys were like, let's get a picture of the two of you together.
That's true. Which is a phenomenal photo that Carmen took.
And so we did that picture, but I got in the car and I literally called my team and I'm like crying and bawling and I'm just like, I don't know how it went,
classic
but I
Jody.
did.
Yeah.
Classic Jody.
You're bawling
so
and we're
emotional.
like bursting with excitement upstairs.
Thank
like,
God.
And I'm like, well, I don't know how it went, but I did the work and I gave it. And if this is not if I'm not who they want, I know that I didn't let myself down because I went in there and I did what I felt like. I'm like emotional talking about getting a weeper, but it was just like this remarkable and amazing thing because it's like, and people keep asking like, how do you feel that this project like changed my life? Just because like to work with the three of you, to collaborate with somebody like Daniel, who just like so giving and like kind and real, and you just never made me feel like you don't know what you're doing and you know what I mean? You were always just like, we're right there with me and like teaching me.
It was so beautiful to watch because there was this love story obviously happening in the camera, but there was also this love story happening on set between you two in the car, and this trust and this energy. It was just beautiful to witness.
Yeah.
You know, both like the chemistry on screen and
it's
in real life.
And I think for you and I, even though we already were close and connected, the thing I keep telling people about this experience is that it bonded you and I forever. You know?
We were in a war.
We were like...
There were so many obstacles on the set, and I always say, like, I feel like it had to be that. It had to be a hard shoot because we were honoring, right, all these people whose lives were taken because of police brutality. Yeah. Exactly. So I knew it wasn't going to be easy, but we were challenged. Yeah. From the first week we show up, we're in Cleveland, and it's a polar vortex. You know, and you're having to shoot this, you know, extremely, both of you, like, weighted
putting his hands on the car.
Putting my hands on the car, it was like that car. Putting my hands on the car and then
like
having to
15 degrees.
be in that headspace and just go and still like trying to play the nuance of the injustice.
And
but
I remember,
hands on the car.
I remember saying they want me to heat up the car, and you were like, no, I want to feel it.
Yeah.
I want to feel that, and to see how the environment and those elements informed your performance.
Yeah.
Could you please hurry up? What did you say? It's just cold.
Get on the ground! Keep your hands where I can see
Why is he under arrest? What is your badge number?
Chill, just chill!
I'm reaching for my cell phone!
Because it's inhumane.
Yeah.
The interaction's inhumane.
Yeah.
So the temperature informs that and actually colours it. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's why the improv line, like, it's cold, which where we kind of spoke about, it's kind of like because
It's cold.
It's cold. Yeah. And that was a really difficult, I really wrestled with what is going to be the tipping point.
Right.
And when we was rehearsing, we couldn't find it. And then when we was in Cleveland, we found it. Do you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, yo, I'm asking for basic human rights here.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I'm saying? Please, like, it's cold. Like, you ain't finding anything.
Yeah, you're bleeding.
And it was a really, it pushed all of us. I mean, there was heads of departments dropping.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
I almost dropped. I was like, I gotta get out of here.
Thank you for this journey, no matter how it ends.
What inspired you?
She would send me guys from Jersey.
Yeah.
Like,
he's just like a regular Jersey guy. But, you know, that doesn't translate for him.
Yeah. So
like,
then,
small town, he never left.
It's just like, you know, when you've been single for so long, you haven't had to compromise. Mm-hmm. You actually don't know what that is. Mm-hmm. So eating someone else's food on a date, taking them to a diner is a humongous blind spot.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? He doesn't realize, he's never had to accommodate.
Right.
And not from a malicious place.
No.
A kind of innocence.
Yeah.
Of, it's an entitlement. You know what it is? I think Slim's navigating black male privilege in at the beginning. It's just that, it's that kind of like, I'm a catch.
Right.
Like, I'm earning $38 an hour, you should want me. Mm-hmm. Like, who you else gonna get? Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, and like that in his context, and in her context, she's like, this guy is not stepping up.
No effort.
Do you know what I'm saying? And it's intensifying the conflict in a dynamic. And so that really helped me. And then I don't know, I kind of, that's another thing why I read the script. I reminded me, especially the sex scene and the riot scene. I'd seen that in an old film called Quadrophenia.
And I remember you
like, and it was like, and I remember watching, I go, that's such a great idea.
And I did
to have like sex with like the intensity of a riot, and I so when I saw it, I was like, this is gonna work.
Yeah, for me, I was, you know, I love that you come in with like these ideas about who you feel like, that, you know, who you felt like Queen was, and what you sort of related to. And so, you know, I went and I read the Angela Davis autobiography, which I thought was so interesting because the first part of that, when she's talking about being a fugitive on the run, and just the anxiety of that, and she's talking about the anxiety that you have when you're on the run. And I mean, I pulled so much from her and from that, and I was just like, of course, Melina would give me just, here's a Bible. And also, just like, in a way, it wasn't about really looking at fictional films as inspiration, It was about looking at a lot of this black horror that we see, the reality of that, the fear in that, the way that this woman was like, she knew her rights. And it's that thing that you say about respecting yourself, you know, is disrespectful to them. Like, because she respected herself, it was disrespectful to that police officer.
We watched it in the car in that scene. Before we shot it, we was watching it. So when I said the turn signal, it was directly, I'd seen it just before. I'd seen it just before, and it was in my mind. And then, because Jodie was like, look, let's just watch it before we go out into the cold.
Wow.
So,
Incredible.
And just like the energy of that, you know, because what is really important for me as somebody, you know, I didn't go to drama school, and it is still very new for me. Do you know what I mean? Even though I've done some television before, but what's important for me always is like, how can I be honest? Like, how can I just make this person a real person? Because I know that if I just do that, then I've done what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
And so it was important to me to look at real experiences and look at real things and just look at the human behavior inside of that, you know what I mean? And the passion inside of that. And like, what would make Queen this person who was just so passionate and so angry at the same time, and how does her anger like manifest? Do you know what I mean? And then also just like, there was so much reality in it of just, this is the experience of being a black woman.
It's right that you know.
That I know,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? Already just in my bones. Like, I don't even have to like go and look at a source for this.
Yeah, you
It's
live
like,
it.
I understand what this means and what this feels like and what it's like to use all of the things that I've acquired, whether it's intelligence or status or whatever, as a wall around me to deal with my pain. Which is what Queen is doing, and what really we as black people have to do, you know? And that really drove it for me. And I mean, it was just like, the script was so beautiful and incredible that it was just like, you didn't really even need to look outside of it.
We're in the Black Bonnie and Clyde. How you gonna outrun the police?
We hide in plain sight. You didn't need to
What
look outside
inspired
of
your
it.
script, Lena Waithe?
The trauma of being black in America, I think, but also being in love too. You know, it was those two things, the space that I was in, particularly at that time. And also I was feeling very powerless, even though I had a show on, you know, and I think I was on a TV show, I still felt like I didn't have any power in the business. I was just like, I was talking to you about that. People would be very dismissive of me. And also I think because I'm young, I think there's a thing I was feeling very dismissed. I just sort of know, I'm very aware of my gift. So I turned to that and I said, fuck these people. I was about to go write something rebellious. And that's what I think, you can feel my rebelliousness in it. You can
They
feel
lit a fire under their ass.
Man,
under that ass.
you know,
They're regretting
and
it now.
you know, and that's why I say it's a rebel cry. But it's also, I was feeling a sense of trauma from like watching the news, and I think people, when they hear about black people being killed by cops, they know that it's sad, they know that it's not right. But as a black person, for me, there's no one there to hold my hand.
Absolutely.
There's no one there to rub my back and tell me like that I'm okay. I'm gonna be okay. We're gonna be okay. I have to self-soothe, you know. And I think that is how I do it, like writing, and this, my true source material are black people. Like, I really wanted to be honest. I wanted this to be the screenwriting version of Gordon Parks, and that he captured us, you know, just like there's no sauce on it. He would just take pictures of society. You know, the one that I love so much is of the black kids looking through the fence, watching white kids playing on the playground. That is America. And one photograph, that is still America.
Right.
And so, but then in terms of the cinema that does affect it, Set It Off was a big one. And even the film Just Another Girl on the IRT, in terms of that dialogue and that realness.
That affected me so much as a kid.
That movie blew me away. And so I think there's a desire to compare our movie to other white movies that feel like this, like Bonnie and Clyde or Thelma and Louise, which I respect both of those films. I revisited both of those films before I started writing the movie. You know, I'm not, you know, please. But I think for me, it's like black people can have black movies be our inspiration.
Absolutely.
And
that's why I purposely didn't watch those movies going into it, because I wanted to stay away from it and I wanted it to come from blackness.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I think from my writing process, I just wanted to, but I also, in watching them, I kind of thought to myself, oh, what do we look like in that narrative?
Which so many people have seen. Like, one of the best compliments I think I've gotten from one of our good friends, Armina. She was like, wow, I feel like I've seen this film so many times in different versions and genres and forms, but I've never seen black people in them.